What's up, y'all? I'm just making this video right quick. One, because I haven't been on my YouTube channel lately. Two, because it's been some news that hit mainstream all over social media, all over YouTube, Instagram, Facebook is streaming about this relationship slash life coach, Dirty Dick Derrick Jaxn. And I just had to speak on it. One, because I am subscribed to his YouTube channel. I have been a follower of his since June 2020, about that time. A friend of mine slipped a video in my inbox on Messenger on Facebook from him, a video he did on narcissism. Um, and it's crazy to me that he made this video on narcissism now, because now seeing everything that's came to the light about how he's out here giving black women, women in general, but mainly he's targeting a black audience. He's a black man married to a black woman. So he's targeting a black audience. He's out here giving black single women relationship advice, telling them that they're queens and not to drop their crown, and what kind of black man they should look for when they're seeking a relationship, and they need to leave these dusty men out here alone, and A, B, C, and D. And he's that dusty nigga that they need to leave alone. He's out here cheating on his wife with multiple women, Instagram models and hoes and all this and that. And he's here selling. He ain't doing it for free. He making a profit off of lies, basically. He's telling women what kind of men to get. He's telling black men, basically, they ain't ish, running them in the ground, basically downing his own culture of men to make himself look like the black man. And the whole time he been cheating on his wife for over 14 years. Since before they were married, when they were just dating in college, he was cheating on this woman. And I'm appalled. I'm appalled. I'm appalled that not that he's narcissistic, because it's so many narcissistic people that we come in contact in the world. And since 2020, since COVID, this term it's been around, but it's been really being pushed out there now. So many people have YouTube channels speaking about narcissism. It's on a way bigger spectrum and scale now, because it's so many people realizing that they've been in a relationship with a narcissist, or they were raised by a narcissist, or their boss is a narcissist. So it's on a wider scale now. But the reason I'm appalled with this man is because he actually has the audacity to charge people fees to give them relationship advice that he ain't even taken. So he is the epitome of a narcissist to me. He is the epitome of a narcissist because he publicly created a facade of himself that he was not. And even in his videos, after this information came out to the public that he was unfaithful to his wife, and he decided that he wanted to try to clear up this mess. So right now he's doing damage control, because he is in the public eye. He is known for being a relationship coach, a life coach. He has several followers on Instagram and YouTube. So he's well known. He's well known in the black community by black men and women. So even now he's trying to do this damage control, it seems to me that he's only speaking out about this matter that's came to surface because he wants to cover up his brand and his name. He has not apologized to his wife, not at least not publicly, which he does not owe the public an apology to his wife. Let me say that first, right? Because it's really, what goes on with them is not really none of our business. But he kind of made it our business when he decided to come out into the public and give relationship advice to the public. Now your business is our business, because you're giving advice that you're not taking, that you're not walking in your own life. And we get to see that, and we get to watch that, especially those people who have spent money on him, who have paid him for coaching, paid him for advice, bought his books, whatever other thing that he might be selling, shirts, I don't know, spent money with this man. And basically he's a whole fraud, a whole narcissist out here. And the main thing of it that bothers me is the bashing of his wife. Like, she's innocent in all of this, because once she may or may not have known about these other women. I'm sure when it first started, she didn't know about them, but she knows now. And she's being bashed, being called, she looks basic, she's this, she's that. These other women that he cheated with don't look anything like her. They got big butts, and they look like Instagram models, and she's not his type, and all this, and that, which all might be very true. We don't know what Derrick was thinking when he decided to marry this woman. What we do know facts is, when he married her, she was pregnant. They were in college. So it might have been like a little shotgun wedding, because he was, forced into marriage because he had impregnated somebody. They were both young, and maybe he felt like that's what he needed to do to take the right steps as a man. But maybe she really wasn't the one that he saw himself with as far as marriage. Maybe she wasn't his type, his cup of tea. We all know a lot of men in society, especially black men, they will wife the woman that it makes sense to wife, basically the woman that looks good to bring home to mother, and they'll cheat on her behind her back with the woman that they really desire and want. For whatever reason, black men do this. And it's disheartening as a black woman to see another beautiful black queen go through this, go through standing by her man, being a good wife, being a woman of God, because Derrick Jaxn's wife is a woman of God. She stands stern in her spirituality. She stands stern in her faith, and she stands stern behind her husband. So to see that she has to be drove in the ground, not only by her husband and his actions and his mistreatment of her as his queen, but as the public will drag her as well for her appearance. Not every woman out here gets up every morning and splatters 10 tons of makeup on their face. Not every woman gets up and goes and gets unbelievable for a man. Not every woman wants to dress up and primp herself for the attention of a man. This woman has 2 children with this man. This woman may have businesses that she runs. She probably helps him maintain his business. It's probably other things that she has going on in her mind besides, let me throw on all this makeup and this weave in my hair so I can look a certain kind of way for a man, because this man that married me should love the person that I am. This is how I looked when he met me, so he should love me nonetheless. This is how I'm going to look throughout our marriage. And from pictures from them in college that have been put up on social media and all over the internet, you can see that the lady hasn't really changed. She looks the same from when they were younger in college dating to now when they're married with 2 children, and it's not a basic look. She's her. And it doesn't make any sense to me that she would be bashed for just being her. If anything, the people that should be being bashed right now, one, primarily is Derrick Jaxn, because yes, he's the one who made vows with this woman, for better or for worse, till death do us part. He honored to always love and obey and cherish her, and he didn't do any of these things as a man. He writes, he has a book and all kind of YouTube channels, and have had seminars about telling black women how to hold their crown. Don't tilt your crown. And he dropped his own wife's crown. And it doesn't make any sense to me. And on the flip side, I hear a lot of people saying, well, you can't blame the other woman because it's not the other woman's duty to uphold your relationship and your marriage and your man. But if this other woman knew at some point in time that Derrick Jaxn was married, then you a hoe, because you have no business sleeping with no married man. And most of these women, 3 of them that have came out and said they have relations with him when he was married to his wife. One of them said the first day that she met up with him, he did tell her that he was very married. And in that same instance, in that same day, he had her at his condo. He whipped his penis out for her to see. So as a woman at 31 years old who has been through a lot of situations with men, if that would have happened to me, one, he would have gave me, he thinks I'm a bust down vibes, just off bringing me to this condo, telling me that you're married, and then whipping your penis out is like, it's telling you what the man wants from you all right then and there without him even having to dialect with words. His actions let you know right then and there what he expects from you, what you are to him. So as a woman, if these other women had any respect for themselves as women, or other respect for other black women, they would have walked away from the situation. They would have upheld their self and their queendom, and they would have not laid down with a married man, or laid down with a man who would disrespect you in that light to just whip his penis out. So I have no sympathy for these other women who claimed that he lied to them and they didn't know he was married and they thought that they were going to have this big future with him. No, you didn't. And the only reason these hoes is coming out to the forefront right now with this shit is because it's something that he was supposed to do for them, or something they thought they were going to gain from sleeping with Derrick Jaxn that they did not gain. Now they mad and bitter because he ain't leave his wife, because the man don't never leave his wife. And they want to retaliate. Now it's a smear campaign going on. So I don't have no sympathy for these other women that he slept with on the side, because a hoe gonna be a hoe, a spade gonna be a spade, and I'm gonna call it how I see it. At the end of the day, Us as women, we're snoopers. We're nosy. We're dealing with a man. We're going in his background, his foreground. We're trying to figure him out. We're trying to figure out what he has going on. We're trying to figure out if he's a liar. We're trying to figure out how many other women he's sleeping with. We're trying to figure out if the things that he's telling us is really what he's about and all of that. So I don't believe any one of these women when they say that they honestly in their heart, didn't know he was married and really thought they were going to have something with him and all this and this and that. Negatory. You're lying, sis. You're lying. You knew the nigga was married. You knew the nigga had a wife at home. You knew the nigga had some kids. You knew that you was a jump off to him. You was just sleeping with him. The last woman that came out and admitted that she slept with Derrick and admitted that she had actually conceived a child with Derrick, but she had an abortion because she felt like because they were just sleeping together. So they had a sexual relationship, and she admitted that. She has a prominent career. She's a surgeon or whatever. And all these videos with all these receipts and all this information you can find on Tasha K YouTube page. She's putting out the receipts. Several other YouTube bloggers and people putting out these receipts all over Instagram, putting out these receipts. It's where I got the information from. So I'm not leaking any information on him or trying to put any receipts out on him. I'm just trying to give my dialect and my little 2 cents to how I feel about the situation, because that's what I do on my YouTube channel. And it's baffling that these women want to be looked at also as victims in this. The only victim in this situation is Derrick Jaxn's wife. Period. She's the only victim. And they're coming out with all these videos now saying that they were in a cult, some kind of cult form of church, and that's why she's still sticking by him and he's brainwashed her. And hey, we don't live in these people's house, so we don't know what really is the foreground and what's going on and how all of this just stemmed and how it got spiraled out of control. We don't know. All we can do is assume. What we do know, fact is we have a black man who is highly narcissistic with highly narcissistic traits out here giving advice to black men and black women, conforming mindsets, and people are really buying into the shit this motherfucker is saying, and they're taking it for heart, and they're applying it to their own life. It's women out here comparing their man to Derrick Jaxn, and Derrick Jaxn ain't shit. So at the end of the day, what I need people to really understand is we are dealing here in the time in 2021 with people that are in sheep's clothing. We're dealing with wolves in sheep's clothing. We're dealing with narcissistic people who are here to steal, kill, destroy, and manipulate you. There are so many people walking this earth right now who are narcissistic, have narcissistic traits, and they're highly manipulative, and Derrick Jaxn is one of them. He's just one of the many people who we need to watch out for. And it be the people you least suspect who are highly narcissistic. That's why it's always very, very important that you keep your spirit of discernment turned on and you keep it on high alert so that you are able to decipher these people that are no good for you. These people who are narcissistic, who just want to come and gain something from you. Derrick Jaxn has built wealth off of lies, off of his audience. That y'all paying this man bills and he's lying to y'all, right? That's a problem for me as a person, as a woman, knowing that this man has such a pivotal influence in the lives and mindsets of other black women and how they see and look at black men right now because of the things that he has said and the black man image that he has painted. He is not. And we live in a worshiping the black man society. As black women from little girls, we're raised up and taught and groomed on how to take care of the household, raise children, and take care of the black man. But the black man is not raised and groomed on how to take care of the black woman. We see now more and more black men that are on the down low who like men, and more black men more than ever who are dating outside of the race. They're marrying white women and Hispanic women, and they're basically just disrespecting the black woman altogether, the main creature that brought them into this earth. The black woman is the most least respected and least valued creature on this earth, mainly by the black man. And whoever listening to this can disagree with me, I don't care. But this is what I feel is facts for me, for what I've seen, from what I've experienced in my own relationships. I have been in relationships with people who are narcissistic. So I do know how a narcissistic man will manipulate the mind of his woman, how he will continue to do her wrong time and time again, over and over and over again. And because she does not know her worth and her queendomhood and herself, and she relies on the validation of this narcissistic man because she's probably codependent, she falls a victim to this situation like Derrick Jaxn's wife. That's why it's important to validate yourself. That's why it's important to love yourself. That's why it's important never to place anyone on a pedestal, to know who you are individually. That's why it's important to have a strong spiritual foundation. That's why it's important to have strong faith. That's why it's important to have a strong spirit of discernmentship. That's why it's important to always seek the answers in God before you seek them in man. That's why when people come into your life, it's prevalent that you step back and you look for those red flags in people, so that you're not conned, so that you're not manipulated, so that you're not left as a victim, so you're not embarrassed like Derrick Jaxn's wife right now, who's probably super embarrassed that her husband is out here giving relationship advice as a relationship guru, making millions and millions of dollars, but behind closed doors, he's bringing women into their home where they sleep with their children and having unprotected sex with these women in his wife's bed. Now listen, y'all. I don't know a lot of things. I just know some things. But what I do know is this is a sick motherfucker. What I do know is he's very highly narcissistic. And what I do know is anybody who subscribes to his channel, anybody who has given him money, anybody who listens to him needs to stop right now. He ain't got no good advice for you. The stuff he said in his videos, it was on point. A lot of stuff he said, it made sense. A lot of stuff he said was true. But if you don't walk the stuff that you say, why should we even listen to you? You have to be about the things that you are talking. A lot of the reason why my YouTube channel doesn't run as slowly, I don't post all these videos up every other day like these other YouTube channel people that you see, is because I'm still living my own everyday life, healing and growing within myself. I'm not going to get on here and put no rah-rah on here mess that I'm not doing in my own life. I'm not going to get on here and tell y'all to do anything or try to lead y'all in a way that I'm not doing for myself. I really only get on here to speak about narcissism and narcissistic people because it's something that I went through. It's something that came to the forefront and surface for me. And I'm meeting more and more people who have had interactions with these people, and they're living in confusion right now. They want to know what happened, what's going on, because when you're in a relationship with a narcissistic person, everything is cloudy, everything is foggy. You question your own reality. You don't know what reality is anymore because they gaslight and word bomb and use word salad so much and manipulate so much that it makes you question your reality. And then they love bomb you and have you all in love with them and all in a disarray to the point where you can't even think, so you can't pinpoint what really is going on in your relationship or whatever situation you may be experiencing with this narcissistic person. And this is what we're seeing right now with Miss Danae, which is Derrick Jaxn's wife's name, and these videos that she's dropping on Instagram, trying to clean up her own image as well. She goes from one persona to the next because she's in a state of confusion. She's with this narcissistic man who's continuing to manipulate her and cloud her mind and gaslight her. She doesn't know what to think. So she clinches to what she knows, which is her faith. And that's the only thing that she has to escape from all these things going on around her. So as Black women, as a Black society, I'm asking us to take a stand and not bash, but lift up, to uphold, to pray for healing for situations like this. Because these things coming to the surface, even though it's bad, and I pray for her and I have so much empathy and remorse for her and what she's going through, I'm happy that all of this is coming to the surface. I'm happy that people like Derrick Jaxn are being exposed, because we need to know, as the people, as walkers of God, as his called ones, as his set apart, as his prophets, we need to know who we're dealing with out here. It's a lot of people out here who work for the devil. They have sold their soul. They don't care. They walk and they live in darkness, and they're here to kill, steal, and destroy. They're here to absorb your light. They're here to absorb your peace. They're here to absorb your energy into them so they can use it and take it and use it, more and more of it, to manipulate other people. They're good at camouflaging themselves to be something that they're not, and they're good at getting over. Y'all think Derrick Jaxn money gonna stop from this? It's not. He's going to spend this in his favor, and y'all watch, wait, and see. And listen to my words. But all narcissistic, demonic, sociopaths, psychopaths, dark triads, they're being exposed right now. Stop and pay attention, people. Open up that discernmentship. Pray, pray, pray without ceasing. Pray these demonic people up out of your life. Pray covering over you so you're not touched by any one of their evil doings. Because It's not game time anymore. It's game time right now. It's not playtime anymore. It's game time. And what we're getting into society right now is something that we're never going to be able to forget. It's an atmosphere shift. It's a spiritual shift going on right now. And we're seeing the set apart line up together to expose those who do not walk with us, who do not fear God, who say they know him but do not know him. And beware of these narcissistic people out here who speak of spiritual tongue because they know the Bible too. They're still narcissistic. They're still narcissists. They still don't have any empathy. They still don't care about you. They still are only here to absorb what they can absorb and get fake validation wherever they can get it from. So I'm running in 20 minutes. Y'all know I don't like to talk a long time. So I just had to get on here. I just had to give my 2 cents about Derrick Jaxn and how I feel like, yes, I talk about narcissism, so I'm bringing it to the forefront. Derrick Jaxn is the epitome of a narcissist. He's the epitome of camouflaging himself to be something that he's not. He's the epitome of gaslighting. He's the epitome of manipulation. He's the epitome of going public and having an audience so he can have validation. All of y'all watching his channel and listening to him and buying his books and paying for his advice, that's his supply. That gives him validation to keep going on to do what it is he's doing. And y'all feed into it. And not just y'all, because I have watched his videos too. I'm subscribed to his channel. So we fed into his narcissistic plot that he had from the beginning, and it worked for him. But now everything is being brought out to the forefront. He's being exposed. I believe he'll spin it. It still will be in his favor. I guess we'll see what happens. But like I said, like I will always say, use your discernment. Watch for those red flags. Beware of narcissists. Black women, love yourself. You don't need that man to validate you. If it's red flags, pay attention to them and count your losses. Keep your peace of mind. Your mental health is everything. And if you don't have that, what do you have? You can't even function throughout life to give anything to your kids, your family, your friends, even yourself. We came into this world for self. No one is permanent in our life. Everyone is temporary. Everything we experience is only growing and molding us to become into our greatest, highest self that we can be, to tap fully into our spiritual man and to be the person that God wants us to be in tune with him, to be one with him. So when he comes back, we'll be ready as a set apart people to do what it is that we need to do for God. Never forget that. You're here for purpose. Purpose, purpose. Chase your purpose, not a relationship. Chase your purpose, not a man. Chase your purpose, not a woman. Chase your purpose, your purpose, your purpose. Chase your purpose. Don't even chase money, because if you chase your purpose, the money will come. Chase God and chase your purpose. Until next time, y'all know I love you. Subscribe to my channel. Tell a friend to subscribe to my channel. Always spread love, spread light, spread peace. I say.